Are you a morning or a night person? Do you know someone who gets up at 7 a.m., smashes out all their tasks, and is filled with energy? But then at nighttime, they're in bed by 8 p.m. And do you know someone who cannot get out of bed in the morning? They dread the morning, but then at nighttime, they get a surge of energy and smash out all their tasks. Which one are you? Well, in today's video, I'm going to cover which one is better for you, the disadvantages and advantages of both of them, and how they impact your productivity, how they impact your health, and what you can do right now to ensure that your performance is on point. It's Mondays with Mahela. That's right, me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love and appreciate your support. Keep it coming, because with your support, I'm able to produce these amazing videos for you. Well, today's topic is so interesting. I always get asked, what is better? Is it better to wake up in the morning, complete all the tasks, or is it better to sleep in, make sure you get your quality sleep, and then stay up at night? Which one is better? Well, I'm going to answer those questions today. But to start off, let's look at what the definition is of an early bird and a night owl. So an early bird is an individual that gets up early in the morning, some people 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. They finish off all their tasks and they have the most energy in the morning. And then at nighttime, they're in bed by 8, 9 p.m. So most of the sleep occurs between 9 p.m. and about 5 a.m. That is an early bird. Now, a night owl does not like the mornings. They are up at night, even sometimes till 3 a.m., completing the tasks, and they sound something like, but Mahela, most of my energy is at night. I cannot think during the day. I can't wake up in the mornings. These are the night owls. But the question is, which one are you? Keep listening, because I'm going to go into detail about the benefits, but also the disadvantages of both of them. So now that we have a definition of a night owl and an early bird, let's look at what literature has to say about it. Preparing for this video, I looked at a number of studies that discuss an early bird and a night owl, and then the disadvantages and advantages of it. The first study that we're going to look at explains to us that night owls are more likely to have addictive behaviors, mental disorders, and be more antisocial. So in a recent study in October 2014, the Journal of Personality and Individual Differences looked at morning individuals and night individuals, and what they looked at mainly is addictive behavior, antisocialism, and mental disorders. So among the differences, they found that morning people tend to be more persistent. Morning types are also more resistant to fatigue, frustration, and difficulties, which often translate into lower levels of anxiety, lower levels of depression, higher life satisfaction, and less likelihood of substance abuse. So these are saying the individuals who wake up in the morning, are go-getters in the morning, are less likely to abuse substances, are less likely to get depression, are less likely to get anxiety, and have higher life satisfaction. On the other hand, the evening people, the night owls, they get most of their energy at nighttime. They tend to be more extravagant. They tend to be more impulsive and novelty seeking. So they are those go-getters individuals, which a lot of you are night people. They have a higher tendency to explore the unknown, which can be very beneficial, especially in the business world. They are more likely to suffer from insomnia, so sleeping difficulties, and ADHD. They also appear to be more likely to develop addictive behaviors, mental disorders, and antisocial tendencies. So this study shows to us that if you're a night person, you're more likely to be impulsive, but you're also more likely to explore those options. But then on the downside, you are more likely to have mental disorders and also be antisocial. So the second study that I looked at night owls, so it's evening people, the people that work at night better. So this study confirmed that they consumed more alcohol, nicotine, and caffeine. So in a sample of 537 subjects, half women, half men, so it's not just men or just women, this was split equally. There were students and professionals with different but fixed work schedules, okay? So they had always the same schedule in that sense. What they confirmed is that night owls consumed more alcohol, nicotine, and caffeine, including cola, while morning individuals consumed more caffeine from tea. So if you're a morning person, are you drinking tea? And if you're a night person, are you drinking too much coffee? So the third study that I looked into looked at night owls and their cardiovascular risk and obesity, which is a huge factor in today's society. So if you're a business individual and you're a night person, watch out for this study. So 2013 study published in the Public Library of Science 1 looked into morning night individuals in association with health. Evening, so night owls, was associated with eating later, a tendency towards fewer and larger meals, and a lower HDL cholesterol level. In addition, these night owls had more sleep apnea, more sleep apnea and higher stress hormones. And we know we want to reduce those stress hormones, and we know that we want to get good night's sleep for our mind to be on point. These night owls seem to have more link with obesity, chronically sleep-deprived individuals, and because they're chronically sleep-deprived, their cardiovascular risk went up. So this study is saying if you're a night person, your risk for obesity and cardiovascular risk rises. Interesting, isn't it? But I thought I'll mix this up. So here's study number 4. This study looked at night owls and their income and early birds. So which one do you think? Which one do you think earned more income? The night owl or the early bird? Well, 228 men and women aged over 65 who were in 1973, so this is a really old study, they took part in this study from the Department of Health and Social Securities, and they looked at the sleeping patterns, the health, socioeconomical circumstances, and cognitive function was recorded. Now, the results are very interesting. So they looked at early birds and night owls in this study, and they confirmed that night owls had higher income mean. So what this is saying is if you're staying up at night and you're working those late hours, you have a higher income to those individuals that are waking up early in the morning. Yes, you know, your cardiovascular risk and your obesity is at risk, but you're making more money. Isn't that interesting? That's this study confirmed. This was about 50 years ago. This study was done between that time. Study number 6 looked at performance, and we know how key performance is for business professionals. So a 2003 study in the Journal of Science reports some intriguing differences between the brain activity patterns of 2 types of behaviors. So this is the morning and night. So what they concluded is so interesting. The study was small. It wasn't that big because it was only 15 night owls and 16 early birds that took place in this study. But we can kind of make sense of it. So the 2 groups were separated by about 4 hours in the sleep pattern. So if the early birds were happy waking up at 7, the night owls slept till 11. So it was a 4-hour difference. So at 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. they would wake up. And same as sleeping time. So if the early birds went to bed at 11 p.m., the night owls didn't get to bed until 3 a.m., which happens to so many of us, doesn't it? So an hour and a half after waking up, and again, 10 and a half hours after waking up, the volunteers had their brain activity measured by an fMRI machine while they took a simple reaction time test and the ability to maintain focused attention. So listen to these results, so interesting. So there was no real difference between the early bird and the night owl in their performance on the morning test. So in the morning, no difference between the 2 on the test. However, the evening test was a different story. The night owls, less sleepy, filled with energy, which they usually are, had a faster reaction time than the early birds. How interesting that. So to sum it up, this study is saying they did a test on the cognitive function and the way they're able to complete this test. In the morning, morning birds and night owls had no difference in the test results. At nighttime, the same test was done and night owls performed better at this test. Interesting, isn't it? So there are some benefits of being a night owl. Okay, let's grab that. So number 7, I'm going to look at intelligence. So are you more intelligent if you're a morning person or a night person? So this scientist, Satoshi, at the London School of Economics, looked at are morning people or night individuals more intelligent? So what they concluded is, so the study concluded more intelligent children are more likely to grow up to be night owls who go to bed later and wake up later. So this is the study done there. So it's saying if you go to bed later, you are considered more intelligent in this study. So these are just some studies that I looked at which shed some light on morning early birds and night owls, which is very interesting. So what I find very important is to work with our bodies. Our bodies have a circadian rhythm. We are made to do certain things at certain times. So the circadian rhythm is fundamental cyclical process that occurs in most living beings, including us as humans and animals and so forth. These daily cycles affect a wide range of molecular and behavioral processes such as your hormone levels, such as your core temperature, your sleep-wake cycle, which is key to this topic. So, what if I told you that there is evidence that altering your circadian rhythm is linked to disease development, particularly metabolic and psychiatric disorders? So this has been proven. So if you mess with your circadian rhythm, the way we are supposed to be working, you can cause disruption in this, which causes disease development. So what if I told you that circadian rhythm throw off could cause your fatigue? It could cause your heart disease. It could cause low immunity. It causes impaired brain wave activity. It causes lower cell regeneration, false protein expression, and impaired DNA resynthesis. These are key for optimal performance. Wouldn't you want to work with your body the way it's meant to work in a cycle, not against it? And the way it's meant to work is we're meant to be up in the morning and asleep at night. That's what we're meant to be doing. We cannot see at night time because we are not made to be night individuals. We're meant to be day individuals. That's what we can see at daytime and not at nighttime. We are meant to be eating during the day, not at night. That is why our saliva is more during the day than at nighttime. It decreases at nighttime. There's so many things in our circadian rhythm that if we just look at it, we can see the way we're supposed to be functioning at an optimal level. Look, the choice is yours as long as you know both sides and understand what it means for your health if you're a night owl or a morning person. The choice is yours essentially, but I made this video so you are aware of what it does to your health if you sleep later at night, 3 a.m. and so forth, and if you wake up early in the morning, 6 a.m. and so forth and do your work. The choice is yours. Let me know, I want to know, are you a morning person? In the comments below, let me know, are you a morning person or a night person and what you've learned from this video? Thank you so much for tuning in. Love and appreciate your support. Do what you do best. Subscribe, love, like, share. Thank you. Until next Monday, love you.